about Christmas and the end of the church age. So in Luke 21, which talks about the end times, which we're in, Luke 21:24 is a prophetic word Jesus gave about Jerusalem and the children of Israel. And he says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations," the Jewish people. "And Jerusalem will be trodden down by the Gentiles," which it was for almost 2,000 years, "until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled." So in 1967, in the Six-Day War, the Jews took back Jerusalem, and it was a miracle. And they weren't even going for Jerusalem. And I believe that prophecy was fulfilled, Luke 21:24, and it's very important to get a hold of that prophecy because Jerusalem will be trodden down by the Gentiles, which it was, till 1967, until the time of the Gentiles will be fulfilled. So when the Jews took back Jerusalem, I really believe the time of the Gentiles was fulfilled. That was the end of the Gentile church age prophetically. Now, is it still going on? Yes, I mean, it's still churches and going on, but it hasn't had it isn't where you need to stay. When the Antichrist rises up, they will be celebrating Christmas probably and Easter. I'm not really sure, but because those are pagan holidays, and they were part of the Gentile age, that age is over. And in 1967, the Jews took back Jerusalem. The Jewish Messianic movement started, Messianic Jews. Jews for Jesus started. It was also the start of the Jesus movement. I got saved during that movement sometime in the late 60s. So that was a very significant time because the Bible said that when the time of the Gentiles, there will be the age of the Gentiles in Romans. I'll look up the scripture and post it. There'll be the age, and then when that's done, the blinders, the Jewish people will be blinded for all that time, but then the blinders will start to come off. So in 1967, the blinders started to come off, and we're becoming one new man with Israel. So anyone who's really pressing into the Lord, or the Lord's pressing into them since 1967, for me, it happened around 1999. I realized, wow, I need to be with my roots of Israel, and I have lots of videos you could look up on either of my YouTube channels about that. The Feast of Israel, celebrating the feast, because prophetically now the Lord is saying, we are at the end of the whole church age. Like eventually we will be celebrating the Feast of Israel in Jerusalem in the millennium with Jesus. We won't be in churches anymore. We won't have Christmas. We won't be celebrating Easter and Christmas. So why prophetically is the Lord pressing that upon my heart right now? I'm not really sure. It could be that the big earthquake is going to happen, the big sixth seal, since I believe we're already in this, waiting right now for the sixth seal. And when that sixth seal happens, everything is going to happen quick. So it could also be economic, although I believe that's going to go in stages, but it could also be personally. So you may personally not be having a normal Christmas. You may be suffering or having some hardship or financial hardship. And it's time to press in and say, does God really want me to be celebrating Christmas? I've kept celebrating somewhat over the last 30 years, but it's not been in my heart. My heart has really been to be celebrating Hanukkah, Passover, Purim, and the Feast of Israel, which I have celebrated as well. So I just want to post it to pay attention, because we're in the last days. We're in the end of the race, the end of the sprint. We're sprinting towards Jesus coming. And we have, I'm posting some more stuff about the virgins with the oil. It's really important right now not to be entangled in the traditions of your life or of men and women. It's important not to be entangled in the affairs of this life or overcome, because all the signs are there. sometimes I just go, well, it looks normal. Everything's normal, but it's not normal. There's a mass animal death every single day going on this year. The Revelation 12 sign that happened in September 23rd, 2017, changed my life forever. And I knew at that time we were in the last seven. So just be paying attention to the Lord, getting intimate with Him, getting your oil filled, and pay attention at this Christmas. Maybe it's nothing, but it might be something personally, because God's never going to make a big show, not till He comes back. He's not going to make a big show. He's going to be working in your hearts and working in our hearts, my heart, and drawing me closer to Him. And He really wants us not to be in the group think anymore, because we're going to be married to Him, and it's an intimate relationship with Him. And so just be really contemplate. We're not going to be in the millennium or heaven celebrating Christmas. So think about your Christmas dinner. If Jesus actually came, if the day of the Lord came, the day of gloominess, the day of darkness, would you accept Him at your table? Thanks. Have a great rest of your year.